Hi, my name is Daniel Fitzgerald and I'm a solution consultant working for New Relic. Today we're going to be looking at how we can visualize and query metrics coming from Prometheus using PromQL. PromQL is the Prometheus query language, which allows you to actually examine and explore metrics that are being collected by a Prometheus server. So I'm here in New Relic and I have the Data Explorer open and I'm looking at all of the metrics in my account. And last week we had an incident where our Prometheus server crashed because it ran out of file descriptors. The Prometheus process was limited to a few hundred file descriptors on our Linux system, and it ran out and it crashed. So what I want to do is I want to be able to see on a dashboard the maximum number of open file descriptors that our Prometheus server has at any one time, so we can keep an eye on the situation and make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I know that Prometheus actually captures a metric about how many open file descriptors it has, and I can find that by looking here at the process open FDS here. So if I click on that, I can see that immediately we're looking at the latest amount of open file descriptors. I actually want to look at the max. What's the maximum open file descriptors that Prometheus ever has? So I can see that here is a time series. That's really nice. And I actually want to break that down or group that by which job is actually running. So I want to see that by the Prometheus job. So now we can see the number of open file descriptors labeled by Prometheus, and I can see it in a table here as well. Now, I could go ahead and actually just add that to a dashboard now, but what I actually want to do is, I already know how I want to kind of query that using PromQL. So let's have a look and see how we could do that. So instead of using this visual data explorer, I'm going to jump over now into the query builder. And this is where you can actually interact with the same data using a query language instead. And you have two options in New Relic. The first option that we're seeing here is using NRQL, which is the New Relic query language, which you can see if you're familiar with SQL. It's a SQL-like syntax. But let's imagine, you've just signed up for New Relic and you've sent in some Prometheus metrics like I did in my previous video. And you're not familiar with NRQL. In fact, you're actually much more familiar with the Prometheus query language, which is PromQL. So let's have a look and see how we can do the same visualization using PromQL. I'm going to jump now and click into the PromQL style query. And you can use all of the same tools that you would expect. So I can do a max, and I'm going to do a process open FDS. And I actually want to group that again like I did before by the job. And I can click run. And we're going to see exactly the same kind of visualization that we had before. I'm going to say Prometheus, can't spell it, open file descriptors. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to a dashboard. And I can choose a new one, call it Prometheus monitoring, and add that to a dashboard. So that is how you can query your metrics using PromQL in New Relic. Thank you very much.